Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pula and here's what we have in the bulletin. PNP protests Dennis Chung's FID appointment. Government expands reintegration strategy to better support deported Jamaicans. And later in sports, Blair added to win this squad ahead of third ODI. Now the details. Organized by the People's National Party this morning at Hugh Circle in Kingston, they renewed calls for the government to rescind the appointment of Dennis Chung to the Financial Investigations Division. They also want the Prime Minister to call the general election. Kalisha Williams covered the protest and now files this report. We apologize for the audio on that story. In the meantime, the Jamaica Labour Party is rubbishing the PNP's claims that it is standing against corruption. Party officials are currently addressing the media at a briefing at its Belmont Road headquarters.
Our Prime Minister and Jamaica Labour Party leader, the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, issued a charge to labour rights and indeed all right-thinking Jamaicans last evening in addressing a meeting in West Central St. James. He has urged us to protest, and this protest is not destructive in nature. The protest to which the Prime Minister and our party leader has called us is a protest to respond to and push back against the PNP's falsehoods, envy, and deceit. What the PNP is calling on the government to do is something that is wrong. It would be highly improper and irregular for the government to interfere or otherwise unduly insert itself into a process that is the sole prerogative of the Public Service Commission. The public should, quote, take sleep and mark death, end quote.
And we go back to our lead story where hundreds of people joined the anti-protest organized by the People's National Party this morning at Hero Circle in Kingston.
Now, as you can hear from the singing and the shouting behind me, these people are here this morning. A lot of PNP supporters, hundreds of supporters in fact, have been here since 9 o'clock this morning at Hero Circle, right across from the Ministry of Finance. And they say they're appealing for the end to corruption in the country, as well as they want the Prime Minister to rescind the appointment of Dennis Chung to the Financial Investigations Division. And this is what some of the people had to say.
Enough corruption, man. We cannot take no more of this angel-led corrupt administration. It is too much on the Jamaican poor people now.
We are gathering here today to state to the Jamaican people, we do not support this. We stand against this. Time come for good governance in the country. Time come for a government that is above board. Time come for a new government that the people can have trust and confidence in.
The Prime Minister, in his act of stupidity, calling on the Labour right to come out and counter demonstration and make trouble. And the Labour right did not heed to his call. Mr. Owens, your show flop again. And it only goes to show you that we are not stupid in this country.
Now, several senior members of the PNP are also here, to include former President Dr. Peter Phillips. In terms of logistics, there are several police officers here, and they have been maintaining the peace, ensuring the smooth sail of traffic here, and just to ensure that people know why they're here, and to also ensure that there are no disruptions here. There are some people who told me that they left work this morning just to be here because they're concerned about their future. Now, I'll have more on this story in primetime news this evening at 7. It's back to you in studio.
PNP candidate Richard Azan has slammed the GLP government's road repair efforts. Mr. Azan says their key programs have failed to deliver. Sandy Williams reports.
Spark, not sparking, and reach, not reaching. The term of phrases being used to further criticize the JLP-led government over delayed roadwork projects, this time by PNP candidate for Northwest Clarendon, Richard Azan. Launched in January, the Spark program has come under fire for slow implementation and alleged lack of transparency in the contractor selection process.
They gave China Harbour the contract. And what happened? China Harbour subcontract their work to another Chinese company. And that Chinese company looking for local contractors to subcontract again. So what will happen? Nothing will leave.
Meanwhile, the REACH program rolled out last July to provide emergency relief to those impacted by Hurricane Beryl has also been criticized for being sluggish and ineffective. Mr. Azan wasted no time in contrasting the current administration's efforts with the PNP's track record. He boasted that the Jamaica Emergency Employment Program, JEEP, introduced under a previous PNP government was far superior in execution and impact.
In a JEEP, comrade, we have over every member of parliament could have fixed at least 5 roads in their constituency on a JEEP. So it look like me asleep, or we have nightmare. The Spark program, comrade, can't spark up to now. The reach can't reach.
Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith says the government is boosting support for deported Jamaicans. The reintegration strategy will now offer more coordinated help for their return. At Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith says on May 5, Cabinet gave the green light for the creation of a national technical working group on voluntary and involuntary migrants. She says this group is charged with coordinating tailored services for 2 distinct categories of returnees, those coming back voluntarily and those being deported. According to the Foreign Affairs Minister, in recognizing that the groups have different needs, the government aims to provide more specialized support.
This technical group is chaired by the Planning Institute of Jamaica. Oversight is provided by the Ministries of National Security and Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. And the technical group comprises several ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as civil society partners. Its mandate is to coordinate reintegration services and to ensure that returnees are supported in a structured, sustainable manner. And this includes their reception, verification, health checks, security vetting, and access to social and legal support.
Addressing concerns about security risks related to deportees, Mrs. Johnson-Smith assured the public that strict monitoring and detention protocols are in place and will be rigorously enforced.
Stakeholders play key roles in helping us as partners in this reintegration and return process. And undoubtedly, there will be further updates on these matters. Jamaica remains committed, and the government remains committed, together with our partners, to treating all returnees with dignity and fairness while upholding our national security interests. The public will continue to receive updates from the relevant ministries as developments unfold.
In clarifying numbers around deportations from the United States, the minister confirmed that about 2,500 Jamaicans are expected to be deported and not 4,000 has been reported.
The return of Jamaican nationals is not a new development. It is not a new phenomenon. For decades, Jamaica has facilitated the repatriation of its citizens under established international arrangements. We receive our citizens when they are returned to us. Just as we expect and we do repatriate foreign nationals who commit serious crimes or breaches of our immigration laws, we respect the right of other countries to so do.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ. The Ocho police are still searching for 39-year-old British national Michaela Fremantle. She has been missing since May 24. According to reports, she was last seen leaving her hotel in colorful attire with a shopping bag. Her belongings and a note were later found in her room. She arrived May 12 and was due to leave May 26. 2 days into the hurricane season, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Floyd Green is urging more fishermen to insure their boats. Mr. Green was speaking to farmers in St. Andrew recently. He stressed the need for precautionary measures to protect livelihoods during the season.
We really worked hard to get Advantage General to do an insurance for fishermen boats, engine, and that is there now. But the take-up has been very low. So what you're saying to me is that you don't know about it, right? So NFA, talk to them. We're going to talk to Advantage General and reach out to all of the fishermen cooperatives. Sean is here as well, right? We have an insurance product now that you can access now that can insure your boat, can insure your engine. I don't think they've reached pot yet.
Meanwhile, Mr. Green says support is coming for the bee industry. Several bee farmers have raised concerns about being overlooked. He assured them that they're included in upcoming plans.
We need to build back our bee population.
Yes.
Remember, bees are critical for our ecosystem.
Yeah.
We take it for granted. But remember, bees are the pollinators, right?
Yeah.
You need them. So, we're going to help you in terms of, we're going to give you some boxes. We're also going to be working with schools.
Yes.
Because we want more schools to be teaching apiculture. We're also going to be helping you with some supplements. In fact, we've found some pollen supplements. We've found some sugar supplements. So, we have a little package worked out for bee farmers.
Okay.
It's time for a break. Stay with us, more stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Linstead Hospital in St. Catherine is getting a major upgrade. The work includes a $60 million electrical overhaul. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, who toured the facility recently, says this will ensure full power and backup during emergencies.
The hospital has benefited over the last, I would say, year plus. And will benefit to the tune of some 140 million, based on what I've been told. To the back, you would have seen the new generating capacity. During the last hurricane, what's it called again? Beryl. We had issues with our generating of capacity when there was a downtime with the public service company, JPS. So the team, rightfully so, have put in place plans that are now being implemented.
Pediatric and maternity wards are also being expanded. Dr. Tufton says new equipment and more space will improve care for mothers and children.
They are now in the process of doing that. That's approximately, I'm told, about a 30 or just over $30 million. That's between the infrastructure improvements and the infrastructure that is required, including beds and so on. So that's 60 plus, 30 plus, close to 100 million. And then be in front of me, between the roof and the resurfacing of the concrete roof, the zinc roof, another 40 million or so would have been spent.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining is about to launch a $5 million rabbit production program in order to boost food security. This program will lead to the distribution of 300 pairs of rabbits to farmers and schools across the island for breeding. The ministry also says it intends to strengthen cattle production through a $10 million beef cattle expansion program. Under this program, male calves will be provided to youth and women farmers in order to boost food security. further afield, the British government is vowing to protect British steel after President Donald Trump announced he will increase tariffs on steel imports from 25% to 50%. Trump made the announcement during a speech at a U.S. steel facility in Pennsylvania Friday. The higher tariff rate will go into effect on Wednesday. A spokesperson for the British government told CNN they are engaging with the U.S. about the implications of Trump's announcement. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Carrie Ann Simpson.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM on Friday announced that the nomination day is July 14. That's according to the work plan approved by the 7-member commission on Thursday for general and regional elections slated for September 1, 2025. According to GCOM, political parties must submit applications for the allocation of symbols for approval by the Commission by June 22. With nomination day now announced, GCOM said the statutory forms for the submission of list of candidates are accessible on its website. The date for the general election was announced on May 25. However, President Irfin Ali is yet to dissolve parliament. On the international scene, Mexico has closed the polls on its first ever judicial elections, a major reform led by President Claudia Sheinbaum and former President Lopez Obrador. Despite only 13% voter turnout and confusion over little-known candidates, Sheinbaum declared the vote a success and a move towards democracy. Critics warned it could increase political and criminal influence over the judiciary. Many polling stations were empty and voters lacked information due to restrictions on candidates campaigning and party affiliation. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Antonia Atkinson.
Thank you, Antonia. We take another break. Sports is next.